Hello, everyone. Today we have Pastor Take with us, and we will be hearing about his wonderful testimony and sharing while he was in Everest region. So, we would like to welcome Pastor Take uh, in our video. Um, Pastor Take, you were, um, you have a long story of ministry and how God had been faithful to you in the ministry and in the church planting, and also you have the the motivation and passion for the reaching the lost. Pastor Tech, we will be blessed to hear your experience and the ministry that you were doing in the Everest region. Would you share with us, please?
Joy Masi, this is Tek Prasad. Um, I lived in different places. One of the place Brother Pankaj mentioned was in the Everest region. It was a difficult place. A long time back, it was in 1998. Uh, we needed to travel one whole day bus drive and 4 days walk, and we'll reach around there. And this was a fresh new place, and even for me being a Nepali, going to the Everest region was a tough place. Different people, different culture, different environment, and also weather was different, because I am from central region, and that was Himalayan region, and it was really challenging. Even going there was most difficult. Even travel was risky, and I reached there. I was able to see the people were lost without hope. They had so many challenges, though the tourists walked through the road, and they had many things to, share. But then local community was without hope financially, and for other uh, opportunities they were not having. Even the schools were not many, and even students were not many, uh, and teachers were not that there. Not enough teachers. So it was soon after my uh, graduation of a Bible college, and I went there. It, I really took a decision to be there, and to be in a new place, new people, new group of people, in a new community itself was a challenge. And we learned many tools to share gospel, but no those tools really. Those learned tools really didn't help, but kind of I knew the situation of community, and people would. I knew that people were without hope, even to their minimum uh, kind of survival. Uh, Surviving challenges also were there. You know, so people had to be in the field working, and very few people used to be in the. I mean, uh, helping tourists to climb mountains.
Pastor Tech, how was your experience while sharing the gospel among the Everest region people? How was their response to it? How you experience about it?
Actually, even in the beginning, even to bring Jesus in them was a really challenge, because they had I mean, initially, they had a very much kind of negative feeling about Christianity. I mean, not all community people, but some of the people. And I had to really work in building relationship, and I work very closely with them and try to identify their needs and uh, try to help them. Even in farming, I went to their farmland to help. And then when these, actually they were in need of teachers. They didn't have English teacher. And I was not that good, but still I was good enough to help in their need. And I started teaching them. And uh, in the evening or in the morning time, beside their learning time with me, their course book, they started to hear me. I mean, wanted to hear me, who I am, and why really I am in their village. Uh, like that, those questions and their curiosity increased, and I started sharing my personal testimony about who I am and why I am here. And I told them God loves everyone and He died for us. Then started sharing my personal testimony, how I came to know the Lord and accepted, and and the time I lived 3 years in Bible college and learn about how really He loves us, His plan for us, and those sharing of my testimony really helped them to understand, and they were more interested to spend quality time with me. And many nights in I spent there 9 months, total 3 years, but then in particular village I lived a 9 month, and in that time I share through my personal testimony and helping them in the daytime, in their teaching, their course book. It became a really good relationship, and in within 9 months of time, I was able to teach kind of around 35 students from 9 to 10 class. They were from kind of average. They didn't financially not strong. They were not able to fly to Kathmandu and study, and they didn't have an English teacher. So I started teaching. In the evening, some students lived with me at night and had a really quality time. And when I share testimony and who Jesus was and why He died on the cross long time back, and to give us hope and to save us, and some of them started accepting Jesus as their personal Savior and Lord. And we started having a fellowship at night when everybody sleep, and we started a praying at night. People thought that we are learning, studying, but we were also sharing gospel. And I was really focusing. My primary plan and focus was to share gospel, make them disciple of Jesus, and reach the lost of that region. And within 9 months of time, I was able to start a small group. I mean, it was a really big. We didn't have that big even room for us to have fellowship together, but still, we were 35 people accepted the Lord, and we started having fellowship there.
Amen. It's a wonderful, very encouraging. And Pastor Tegu, do you also share about about your passion and the motivation to reach the lost, and how it was while you were there in your daily life. And when the time that you spend there with the local people, um, about your passion and the vision that God has given. So how what changes or what new things that you experience?
Uh, People are very much rooted in the faith of Hinduism and Buddhism here. As much their faith is rooted, it is really uh, uh, really takes a time even to understand the gospel. And in the midst of my time, in the course of my time there, I face a lot of challenges. Even surviving issue where I started helping people. And my focus, together with sharing gospel and making disciple, I also wanted to help them in their needs and help them in their education. And now some of the students I help them are have now completed master degree in English, theologically trained, and they are leaders, and they are being a leader in their group of people. And so it really, the passion was, when I talk about my passion was to, to reach them, share gospel, so which is our primary focus. Going is going and making disciple should be our primary focus. And that I took a challenge. And when I took personally a challenge, and I took a challenge to live and also share gospel. And one of the time I must share the gospel, share this testimony. I was very badly beaten, almost thrown from the cliff. People were that much negative about a Christian. They thought the earthquake came or some mountain fell down, the river was blocked. In some other time, Christian walk, they said. And it was even challenge for me to make them understand why all those things happen. Actually, I had to risk my life to tell the truth, that all those earthquake and all mountain slide and all kind of challenges was because of the sin. And we did against God. And when these young people, initially 35 people understood, they gave life to the Lord. Their life was changed. They used to, most of them, because in the winter, the cold season, places, drinking and smoking and all these things was kind of common, and that created lots of issues. But they even left these things and started living a good life, and they started helping even their families. And to now, when I share this, it's like more than 3 years back. The church, which should I say I started or no? Share the gospel and had a time with them and started a fellowship. Now is the big church in the community. Everybody go through Mount Everest will pass through that church. Amen. And many families give their life to the Lord, and they used to kind of drink and make kind of those alcohols, and they finish their food within 3-4 months of time, and they had to bring from far away. They left everything, and Now even they have enough food for a longer period of time, and children have started going to school, and they took challenge, and you know, so many things started to happen. It made me myself kind of challenge that our work does not go in vain. It brings forth fruit. It brings change in the community. It brings change in the life of people. So we must take challenge to go and share the gospel. Gospel has a power to change our individual life and family and the community, even the nation. And God blesses us. I continue my ministry, lived in 15 different places, planted a number of churches, and every places I have gone, that I have such one or other kind of stories. And God has blessed me continuously. And been able to raise many young people. They are in the ministry, and even doing other different work in other fields, also living out the gospel wherever they are. So it gives me encouragement. It gives me challenge to continue serve the Lord and help people share gospel. And it brings joy in our life, that people change. People gave life to the Lord. Otherwise, even physically, they would not be living. So I want to thank God for the opportunity that He led me and took me to the different places. Had a vision, passion, but still the physically difficult to go and live, but still taking a challenge to live has changed myself, changed other people, and the community I live. So we need to be praying for our people, those who have, confused about what to do, how to go, how to live, all that. We really need to be first willing to go with a mind, keeping a mind that God is going to be with us to provide in our every need and help us in every challenge. And He blesses us out in our work. But we need to be willing, one or other places, different tools becomes effective. But I was there for a longer time, like 3 years. So my personal life was very important. How I live, how I behave with the community people was so important. So that is what I have lived for 3 years. It was a challenge, but when I count those blessings now, it becomes a power for me to move forward and continue help young people, different new community people sharing gospel.
Man, wonderful, wonderful. It's really encouraging sharing that we hear from Pastor Tek, and we would like to thank for his wonderful experience and testimony that he shared with us when he was in Everest region. And it personally encouraged me, and I hope and believe it encouraged you also. Thank you for being with us. Amen.